So many people struggle with living their life according to the standards of others. They never really concern themselves with what they want, right? They live according to other people's standards. They do what other people ask them to do. They go to the school that their parents want them to. They study whatever it is that other people expect out of them. And they live this way, living for the expectations and the standards of others. This is one aspect to living the standards of others. The other side of it is comparison, right? Comparing ourselves to other people. Now, I've had this issue in the past, so I know for a fact that a lot of people have had this issue as well because I've worked with a lot of people on this, is comparing the work that you do, the amount of work that you do or the effort that you put in any aspect, right? Whether it's career, fitness, any kind of just goal that you may have, something that you're doing that you found on the internet, whatever you have. You're comparing yourself to other people, okay, and the standards that they have. Now, what I've found for myself in the past, and again, I've worked with a lot of people that struggle with this, is comparing what I do, the efforts that I put in with other people. So, for example, let's say you have had a day where you put in a good amount of work. Like you feel like it's pretty solid, but you feel like you could have done maybe a little bit more. Now, for myself, when I've had some of those days, there were times where I thought, but you know what? I worked really hard today. I feel like I could have done a little bit more, but I did more than anybody else would have, certainly. Certainly more than your average person would have done. And so I should be good. And this is unacceptable. Why? Because it's not my standard, right? I'm comparing myself to the average Joe's standard, which I don't want to be. A lot of people, we see this online, like, I don't want to be average, right? Like, it's very cliche, I think, at this point, but it's true, right? Like, if you want to be great, if you want to get ahead of everyone else, how can you compare yourself to your average person? So if you think like, oh, well, I've done more already than, your average person would. Okay, so what? Like, that's their standard. This is my standard. My standard is I go above and beyond what the average person will do at every turn, in everything that I do, right? And so we can never be fully, let our guard down with that. Like, we can't compare ourselves to other people. We have to live, again, according to our standards and what makes us feel fulfilled and what makes me feel like I've worked hard and satisfied for the day, so I can lay my head down on my pillow and know that I put in every effort that I could for that day, right? So do not live to other people's standards with your life, what you do, what you want. You need to live according to yourself, your own standards, and then don't compare yourself to other people, because what they would do, the effort that they would put in, it doesn't matter. Maybe somebody else would put in more effort than you, and maybe you're happy and good with what you've done. You should be okay with that also, right? Maybe for your standard, it's a little bit less. Like, let's say you're just going into the gym. Like for me, and for like even, let's say like bodybuilders, right? They have this insane workout schedule a lot of the time. But if you're brand new going and you're just trying to go once a week, like, good on you. You know what I mean? You don't need to kill yourself trying to go, starting up this brand new habit. As long as you're satisfied with it and happy with what you're doing, that should be your standard, and that is what you need to live up to. I will catch you guys on the next video. If you want, you can click the link below to see if working together would make sense.